Hello. There we go. That should be working now. Yep, there it goes. Slight technical difficulties on the audio. But happy Thursday. Happy week 11. Let's get everything set up, shall we? Start a poll. Let's say. Start poll. All right. Polls up. Let's see. All right. Come on, come in. How's everybody doing today? Hope y'all had a good week 10. Hope y'all won your matches and had a great time last week. All right. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. Drop your thoughts, your questions in the chat as we get this started. Just trying to get everything set up for the game. Probably Patriots will win, but we shall see. We shall see. We buy homes. How are you? What's up? What's up? What's the highlight? Henderson tonight or Kyron Williams in a standard league? Oh, that's a great question. That is a really good question. Man, I can't believe you can't play both of these guys, huh? That's a pretty good team if you can't play both of these guys. So let's pull up the defenses while we get this going. So it would be right here, rushing defenses. Now, when we look at the rushing defenses, um, your best matchups are on the right and your worst matchups are on the left. So when it comes to the Rams, the Seahawks are one of the tougher defenses to play against. For rushing, they allow 800 yards total, in 10 games. That's about 82 yards a game, 81 yards a game. Touchdown wise, they've only allowed 5 on the year, so the yards per carry is about 3.7, right? So if you look at Kyron's last usage, on touches, regardless of who it was, if if you're at roughly at 3.7 yards per carry, yes, Kyron's a good running back, but just over the course of 10 games, that's pretty good amount of data to say for him to be effective, right? If it's just on the ground, it's a touchdown every other game, and 3.7 yards a carry. And Kyron is you know, one of the better backs in the league. So I guess we can try to say we can anchor on the upper end of there, right? If the passing game spreads the ball out a little bit, maybe they can get a little bit more on the Seahawks, but the Seahawks is a really good defense, especially on the run. So that is a good, pause thought. And then on the Jets, on the right side of the screen for the best matchups, they allow 1,244 yards a game. So about, 130 yards a game, 8 touchdowns, so 3/4 of a chance. So the Jets, there is, I guess more room to play with, 4.5 yards a carry. Um, so I don't see. Hold on, and then Ramondre's inactive, right? So I think they're both good plays. I personally think that it's probably, even though it's weird to say, a little, I guess, safer view of playing TreVeyon this week. Um, so I think he might, be the the safer play in terms of yardage and usage. Touchdown wise, there is a bit more upside for TreVeyon for the touchdowns. Um, in terms of the defense that they are playing, uh, but in a sense, the Rams is their offense isn't terrible, so um, you know, they might be able to push the issue enough to give Kyrie enough opportunities to score. I think they're both fine plays. Kyrie might get a little more usage. We don't know, right, exactly on what they're going to do again with TreVeyon. So I'm okay riding that momentum of TreVeyon and playing him. I think that's who I would put the stamp on. But if you know, uh, if your gut tells you to just trust Kyron because he's gotten you this far in the season on a pretty consistent, um, output, go by your gut, right? You got this far in the season based on making good decisions. So I just have a really hard time playing anybody against that Seattle defense if I have a comparable solution and TreVeyon is adequate, right? It's not like you're really downgrading as he's gone up. So that's kind of my you know, thought on things. Let me know if that helped, if it helped or not. Go ahead and drop a like. I think TreVeyon still, Kyron still could get his, but you have a good comparable in TreVeyon. So, uh, you know, it's hard, but I think I would lean that direction. But let me know if that helps you or not. Drop any other thoughts, questions. We buy homes. Really appreciate it. Much love to you and your team. Hopefully, uh, you get that win. Hopefully, you make playoffs. But let me know if that did or did not help. Um, yeah, there's. I know in the standard league the touchdown matters so much, right? That was my first um types of leagues were the standard, non PPR. So I get it. I get it. So hopefully TreVeyon falls into the end zone this game. But I mean, Kyron is heavy use back. So if your gut tells you to play somebody, follow your gut. Follow your gut. Hopefully that helps you. Let me know if not. I go Henderson. Right, the momentum. Let's see how and defense be what. All right, that's what we got. That's what we got. Let's see what else. Hope you all are doing well. Hope you all are doing well. Going over some of the top players so far. So this is 10 weeks of data that we got here. Um Pretty solid. I think are these is like top 19 or something. Flex players in a half PPR. Um League up here on the left. And then in the bottom right is the top 9 quarterbacks on the year so far. And I think you know, some things shook up from expectations. I think if we look at, you know, most, most of the top 10 players so far were there. Javonte Williams, Rico Dowdle, George Pickens, Devontae Adams are probably, and Abuka are probably the ones that stick out the most. Pittman too, but I would say uh, it's been a good 10 weeks of data, and probably can use this all to project the rest forward of the rest of the season and your playoffs. All right. We Buy Home says you stamped your playoff spot this past week, 9-1. Congrats. Congrats on getting to the playoffs. If since you stamped that playoffs, congratulations on that. Hopefully Henderson can get you a big bump and lock in. Hopefully you can get a buy or the number 1 seed or whatever you want to call it. I don't know how your playoffs are structured, but hopefully does well. 9-1 is great. Glad to help. And yeah, I really do hope that Henderson does get another, you know, large opportunity like 20 touches or something like that to ride that momentum. At this point, if we're wanting him to do well, right? We hope for a couple maybe back-to-back good weeks, and then he earns himself the bigger share of the pie. Hopefully, more like a Rico Dowdle situation for Henderson for you rather than the Manungai situation when Ramondre comes back. So let's go. Let's go. We Buy Homes. Rooting for you this week. Much love to you. Congrats on getting to the playoffs. Congrats on getting to the playoffs. Hopefully hopefully you win the championship this year, man. Hopefully you win the championship. But congrats on being 9-1. That's awesome. That is awesome. Congrats to We Buy Homes for making playoffs. Hopefully all of you out there are making playoffs or in the run for playoffs. We got about 4 weeks left, probably, depending on the size of your league, on how many more fantasy regular season games there are before the fantasy football playoffs. So playoffs should be starting in about 5 weeks ish. So make sure you're looking at your playoff schedules, looking at your rest of season schedules comparatively to the players you have. Trades are basically due. So, last gasp chance to get the right playoff schedule, get the right players on the team. If you look on the far left of the screen, nope, I don't have the screen up. Good one, Ryan, good one. If you look at the far left side of the screen here, we have the top 15 players ish, close to 20 players on the year and half point PPR. So you can always find players roughly in the same range as you to see if you could potentially get a better schedule. Trading values. If you're trading a wide receiver for a running back, you could see the comparables near. Or if you're going, within the same category for a better schedule. Now, if you need to win to get into playoffs, right? Or if you are already in playoffs like We Buy Homes, then you could be looking for the best players with the best playoff schedules. But if you're 10-0, 9-1, it's hard to change what is working. So I would not do that. But yeah, I think it's been a pretty good year if you picked up some of those late round value players like Javonte Williams or Rico Dowdle or Ibuka. You guys are probably pretty happy on doing that. Um, Drake Maye playing tonight, the leader for the quarterback position right now. So we'll see how he can cap this game off. And then I believe he's going into a bye. So most other players I believe on this list. So Justin Herbert, I don't think's had his bye either. Um, Getting into their buys, and so this will be a good night of football. Hopefully, well, at least maybe for some specific players like TreVeyon Henderson that we would be hoping for. Maybe I know Patriots defense is good, but can Breece Hall follow it up again? Can Justin Fields break 50 passing yards? That's an actual question. That is unfortunate how bad it's gotten for us to even want to barely get 50 passing yards from Justin Fields. Okay, and in tonight's game, if we're talking about what the makeups of these teams are, we have in terms of passing offenses, the Jets are one of the worst. You look on the left hand side, and the Jets, um, barely throwing 150 yards a game, um, and about a touchdown. So about 150 yards and one touchdown a game. Not too good. Not too good. Um, and then when we look at the Patriots, they're one of the best. You look on the other side, they have over 200 yards a game, right? 225 yards a game ish, and like 2 touchdowns a game. So Drake Maye is balling out um, for these passing offenses. Jose, how are you? How are you? Hope you are well. Mack Hollins or Michael Wilson? Oh man, this must be a deep league. This must be a very deep league. Both of them are, what's the word? uh Hail Marys, I guess, right? Not anybody that you're quote unquote ex- excited to start, I would say, right? So I think, this is basically coming down to, do you think one of these guys is gonna fall into the end zone, and um who has a better chance to do so, right? Um hey, both of them, it's not like you have huge target volume and the opportunities that Hollins has had without Booty and without um, Marvin Harrison Jr. You would hope, right? You would hope for some of those targets to go his to go his way, right? Um, Geez, this is a tough one. This is a tough one. Let's see. Michael Wilson's playing the 49ers. So both defenses, both matchups are fairly good. Nothing really to worry about. I think it's basically like how it feels for me, it's not like either is, what's the word? The safest play. Um so very deep league. Very deep league. Yeah. So, and you have Drake May. Yeah, so I mean, for I guess I would go with, geez, bro, this is tough. This is tough. Um I think I would trust the quarterback. You're playing roulette with both, right? You're kind of playing Um, roulette with both. Both of them should have some more targets with one of the main wide receivers missing. Um, Trey McBride is probably the top target there. Stefon Diggs might be the top target here. Would say Brissett hasn't been bad, right? But I just try. I don't know. My heart is saying that Maye has the better consistency, I guess, so far of what you could if you're preying on a coin flip, right? You're preying on a gamble. It's like for me, which quarterback would I trust, to hit uh more touchdowns or more points, right? And Jacoby hasn't been bad, right? So if you're healing Wilson, go for it. But I'm gonna hope that the trend from Booty being out and Mack Hollins getting the targets last game ends up being what it is, again, right? Repeated again. And then falling into the end zone wise, both matchups are pretty decent. Let's look at these defensive matchups real quick. So passing defense is right here, right? So um when it comes to the matchups for passing, we got uh where is the Jets have given up 17 touchdowns. The Jets have given up 17 touchdowns, not as many yards, but 17 touchdowns, so almost 2 touchdowns a game. You get San Francisco, and they've given up 19 touchdowns, more yards. So there's a little bit more overall in San Francisco, I guess, but it's not like the Jets was a bad matchup, right? 17 touchdowns versus 19 touchdowns. Yardage wise, it's not. It's more on the San Francisco. Uh, you know, San Francisco giving up more, so their matchup's a little bit better playing against San Francisco. But I think Maye is a quarterback that's good, so that's what I would do. Deep call, coin flip for me. So if you feel strongly, right? If you feel strongly about Michael Wilson, go for it. But I would play Mack Hollins and hope that the momentum continues because I think Kayshawn's out, right? I'm pretty sure. Uh, I remember that he is out, but maybe I'm wrong. Yes, he is inactive. Yeah, so with him being inactive, I would just hope that some of those targets go my way with Matt Hollins. Hopefully that helps you, Jose. Let me know if or if not. Drop a like if you can, but much love to you for dropping those questions. Much love to you and your team. Hope you make playoffs. Hope you do well. Hope you do well. But yes, you're going Hollins. Good luck this week. Good luck this week to you too, Jose. Hopefully you make playoffs. Much appreciated. Drop a like if you can. Much appreciated and much love. We got everybody thinking TreVeyon Henderson, riding that momentum of TreVeyon Henderson is going to have more points than Breece Hall. That is good. So tonight in the matchup, let's dissect these defenses and what we can expect. So we just went over the Jets having 1,800 yards and 17 touchdowns, to pass against them. Patriots actually able to pass on them a little bit, offering up 2,400 yards and, 19 touchdowns, being almost 2 touchdowns a game and about a little over 200 yards a game. So people can pass on the Patriots in somewhat of a reasonable fashion. It does look like, in terms of downfield, it's it's not the craziest highest number, but you know, 7.3 yards per attempt. And in terms of the rushing, though, this is where the Patriots are actually really, really good. So this will be a good test, right, for Justin Fields because the rushing defense is really good for the Patriots, but arguably the best in the league with 792 yards allowed and 3 touchdowns. Um, so that is, you know, that is really good. Right. The Jets, though, on the other hand, offering up over 100 yards a game, 1,200 yards, and 8 touchdowns, so almost a touchdown a game. So that's then where the defensive end kind of flips. So it looks like the game script wise, the Patriots are going to force Justin Fields to beat them through the air because Justin Fields can barely throw 100 yards in a game. Just take away the run completely, dare him to throw over the top. And with that pressure, maybe that the Patriots front line can stuff and bring, we will see if Justin Fields can overcome and keep up pace. Because I'm sure Drake Maye is going to set the pace on the offensive end. I do not think, you know, the Jets defense is scary enough to scare you off of thinking that Drake Maye can, have a good passing game and then their run defense is not scary enough to scare you off of TreVeyon Henderson. So I would imagine, uh, the Patriots would be able to set the tone here, set the pace of play. Um, the Jets obviously would prefer to run the ball with Breece Hall, but I don't know how much of an opportunity they will have to do that if the Patriots are able to score a couple times really quick. My divisional game, though, right? So this is a big rivalry slash implications um, in today's game. Let's see. Let's see what else. So, rushing defenses. In terms of the rushing offenses, so we went over the passing. That's right. That is right. We went over the passing, but we didn't go over the rushing side of things. But this is not necessarily exactly TreVeyon Henderson, right? But on the Patriots side, they're top 10 in rushing, with over 1,000 yards, so 100 yards a game and 10 touchdowns, so about 100 yards a game rushing and a touchdown a game. And the Jets at about 1,200 yards, so a little more, about 120 yards a game, 130 yards a game, but 6 touchdowns. So, um, a touchdown every other game for the Jets. So, Breece Hall versus TreVeyon Henderson will be good to see. I think it'll be good to see. Hopefully Justin Fields can put together a nice game of passing. A nice game of passing. Hopefully he can throw the ball well today. No high hopes, but I think a crazy stat was that he, each player for their position has like over unders on yardages, and most of the quarterbacks are somewhere typically over like 200 yards, typically between like, 200 to 250 yards um, for the betting lines. But Justin Fields is so bad at passing that his passing over under is like 120 yards this week. So like basically half. If he could get half the amount of passing yards that the other average NFL quarterback gets, he hit his goal. He hit his goal. So games getting started. I know the Patriots are wearing special uniforms, I believe. I think is it for Veterans Day? Wearing a special uniform tonight. All right, so we do got a divisional game. The 8-2 Patriots, who can potentially get a bye, who potentially can literally lead their conference this year. Um, they can get a bye. The Patriots can get a bye. So this is interesting. I don't think at the start of the season anybody would have said that the Patriots would be having a chance to get a bye, let alone in the playoffs themselves. Nobody was really counting on the Patriots to be leading the division against the Bills, which is crazy. But we shall see. We shall see. Good day, Mac. How are you? What's going on? Won last week. Let's go after getting stomped the week before. So that's good. What about yourself? What's the highlight? How's the week going? Hopefully, you don't have to rely on Justin Fields to throw any touchdowns tonight. That would be a tough week. But how's it going, Mac? How are you? As the Jets take the field, first possession of the game, Justin Fields and team on the 32-yard line and 33-yard. No, sorry, 28-yard line. Shotgun, Fields throwing, finding his man for gain of about 6. Looks like Mason Taylor. So Justin Fields hitting his first pass. Just talking about how Justin Fields has his passing yardage over under today is about 120 yards. So not very high expectations. But here we go. 2nd and 4 for Justin Fields taking the field. Very funny. Breece Hall running, getting the first down, it looks like. Gain of about 4-ish to get that first down. How's everybody doing? Much love to all of you and your teams. Hopefully you all won. Much celebrations to those of you who did win. Keep it 100 and drop any questions in the chat. You guys are all 100 for being part of this awesome community. Here we go. They said he's short, so it's 3rd and inches here. Justin Fields under center right now. Man in motion. And a pitch to Breece Hall. He gets the corner. And he's got the first down. So Breece Hall coming off a pretty good game after breaking free for like a 40-yard touchdown against the Cleveland Browns last week. Cleveland Browns being one of the better run defenses. So he has another tough matchup in a row here against the New England Patriots, who are one of, if not considered the best run defenses in the league. So we'll see if he can continue that momentum against good defenses and have a good game here. Here we go. 1st and 10. Justin Fields running for it himself. And he gets about 6 or 7. It'll be 2nd down coming up for Justin Fields and team. And here we go. We got 2nd and 4 for the Jets. 2nd and 4. All right. 2nd and 4. We got 2nd and 4. Here we go. Patriots could potentially win the division. Nobody would have thought anybody could beat the Bills in that division. But somehow, some way, they will. They may, not they will. They can. 3rd and 4 here for Justin Fields. Shotgun, stepping back. He's across midfield. He's looking. He's going for it himself with his feet. He's got a block. All right. So he's got a first down again. Mac, do I live stream most games? Yeah, so I'll live stream the Thursday and Monday games. And then depending on the schedule on Sunday, typically the first 2, right? So this week, right? There's a Europe game and then probably the morning game and then maybe part of the afternoon, but typically my voice gets too tired and my brain starts to turn to mush. So typically I do like 2 games depending on the game slot windows on Sunday. But yeah, I'll stream Sundays, Thursdays, and Mondays. And then depending on how many people are here asking questions, I might not do the whole games on Mondays or Thursdays. Just depends on how fun the games are too, you know. You're a West Coaster? Yeah, I was from Los Angeles, San Diego, California. I'm in Colorado now, but yeah, I mean it's not it is definitely not late to wake up to. I will say that. I remember when I was in California, you know, the game's at 6:30 and sometimes if, you know, you don't go to sleep early on a Saturday night all the time, right? Wake up, turn the game on, barely uh barely what's it called? You know, awake. Oh, you're from the Inland Empire? Oh, nice. That's all right. I think that's what you mean by IE, right? Inland Empire. Um, okay, and then you're in Oregon now. That's cool. How's it up in o- Oregon? Do you like it? Do you like it better? Did you go for work? Um, and in the Inland Empire for a little while, I lived in Corona too. So I guess that's like the edge of Riverside. So I don't know what side of the Inland Empire you were on, but I was over there um as well. Bronson, how are you? How are you? I hope I'm saying your name right. Drop Manungai for Algier or Coram. You have Swift. Oh man, I don't like dropping Manungai at this point. You have Swift. Should I pick up Trey Tucker to drop Brian Robinson? I think these questions are kind of like what is your need, right? Because like I guess the Trey Tucker is like if you absolutely need a uh a uh wide receiver, right? That makes sense. I would almost drop if you don't need the wide receiver, right? Uh if you don't need the wide receiver, I would be okay dropping Robinson maybe for Algier. Dropping Monunga is hard. I know having Swift, it feels weird playing both of them. Maybe you could trade or something in a package if you don't want to hold on to both, but like Monunga's going to instantly get picked up and I think he has just as much upside as Algier. Monunga probably has a little more opportunity in terms of or sorry, Algier probably has a little more opportunity in terms of goal line guarantee, but Manungai might have some opportunity in terms of touches. So I think you're playing roulette, right? If you're gonna drop Manungai for Algier, you're kind of doing the same thing. Both of those guys are good, but Manungai might have more 50-50 workage. We just don't know if he's able to be on the goal line as frequently, right? Um, but Brian Robinson, you know, he got the touchdown. I think him and Algier might be possible. Trey Tucker, I'm only picking him up if I absolutely need a wide receiver in your situation. I would more so be looking to try to make a trade if you don't want to hold on to both, um, rather than dropping Manunga. I think he because like the wordage they used is like we're gonna go with the hot hand kind of right, meaning that to me that's kind of sounds like okay we're gonna running back A for a series, then Swift, then Manungai, then Swift. And then if Manungai pops up for a 50-yard run and or a touchdown, then they might use him more, right? So but that would never happen in the case of Algier with Bijan, right? Like they're never gonna get him that much usage on the goal line. He's getting more usage, so in a standard league that might be worth it. But I would keep Monangai, and only use Trey Tucker if I absolutely needed it. But hopefully that helped, Bronson. Drop a like if you can. Much appreciated. Max says, you like the trees, the color, no smog in the sky. Dude, that's exactly what I'm saying here over here in Colorado. My wife was the one who kind of chose the place. But yeah, dude, what we just had fall, right? And this was like the first real fall because back in California, you get fall, but it's like, yeah, there's one tree on the entire block or something like that. But then you're from Riverside, yeah, so I was from Corona. I lived in Corona for like a couple of years. There's no there's no fall. There's no trees. You got one tree on the entire block, and like you said, the smog. I didn't realize how bad it was, but we went back and what made me realize it is first couple months uh leaving California. I was like washing my car. I was like, huh, there's no like black sludge coming off my car anymore. And and then we go back to LA for like a week or something. And then I, sure enough, washed the car, black sludge. I'm like, oh yeah, this is definitely smog. And as you drive in, to the area of, like, my family's from there, so that's why we went back. Right? I was like, oh man, this air is actually toxic. But that's good that you up in Oregon. Hope you really enjoying it up there. I heard it's beautiful up there. That's another place that my wife and I will probably want to visit at one point. Um, looks amazing. Looks amazing up there. Max said, "What's up, Bronson?" Yes, sir. Oh, so you agree to keep Manungai too? Nice, nice. Chris goes. Um, some guy accepted a late trade a while back. Somebody really? Okay, so you gave away Xavier Worthy and Kyle Pitts for Jamison Williams, the wide receiver, the one from Detroit. Why would they accept that late? That's kind of confusing because Jamison Williams finally has been having his games, right? So that means I think if you got Jamison Williams, I think that's fine. Um, I think that's pretty good. I mean, as long as you're deep enough. I mean, there's enough tight ends typically on the waiver wire, unless you're in a like 20-team league or something, where like Kyle Pitts should be able to be found for another tight end, even if that's your backup. Xavier Worthy, you know, both Xavier Worthy, I would say, and Jamison Williams are, coin flip, uh, what's it called? Boom or bust plays. And I feel like the boom or bust potential on Jamison Williams is way more, what's the word? Reliable, I guess, right now. Like, Xavier Worthy really hasn't had a good game, right? Since Rashi Rice has come back. Um, oh, and I forgot. Sorry, guys. I forgot. We got a touchdown by Justin Fields running it in himself. So, touchdown, Justin Fields running it in himself. But yeah, I think you won that trade. I think you're doing okay with that trade, right? There's so many tight ends that you could stream from. It's not like Kyle Pitts was Brock Bowers or nothing like that this year. And then Xavier Worthy's usage is kind of not sure, right? So I like it. I think I like it. JMO is doing very good, so I think that's good. And Max says Worthy's been. Oh, so yeah, Max says pretty much the same thing, right? So he thinks it works out too. You're good with wide receiver. Just making sure he didn't scam me by accepting a trade a while back. Thanks. Yeah, no, I don't think he scammed you in any way, shape, or form. But I think it's a good lesson, though, right? That if no one accepts if the guy doesn't accept the trade and you text him, he doesn't respond to always cancel the trade, because there are times, like I've heard I've heard horror stories where it's like, like who's a good example? Malik Neighbors, right? Like you trade for Malik Neighbors, person leaves it in their inbox, torn ACL or, you know, Cam Scadaboo dislocated ankle, and they accept the trade, as soon as the injury happens, right? Like, so it's always a good idea that if you send the trades out to cancel them before the games start. We never know, right? We never know what's going to happen in a game, so just to protect that ability. But no, I think you did fine there. I think you came out. So much love for asking that question. Drop a like, guys, if you can, and let's celebrate as Justin Fields actually scored a touchdown. They actually scored a touchdown. So we can get the Patriots now 30-yard line, first snap, play action, looking for Hunter Henry, line of scrimmage, not much there. Gonna be a 2nd and 10. So much love to everybody participating in the chat. Drop any questions. Sounds like Chris did okay with sounds like Chris did good with the trade. Drop any questions or comment in chat. Bob says, "Oh yeah, Bob, you were the guy. I was literally thinking about you during that game. I forgot it was you, Bob, who I forgot it was you who asked, but I remember somebody asked like Maye over Hurts. I was like, man, you have more you have more guts than I do because of Jalen Hurts' his safe floor this so far this season, and man, did I eat those words in the first half. In that first half, it was you, Bob, that I was thinking of. I was like, man, whoever ended up playing over Hurts was the smart one here. It was what, 0-0 at half. So great job on that one, Bob. You much love to you on calling that one right. That worked out so well for you. And thank you for the shout out on the fishing video. Yep. Took my wife fishing for the first time, and I didn't expect her to like it or anything, but she loved it. She loved it. So this is a great activity I could do. I was so pleasantly surprised. I you know just it's always great that she likes it. So but I appreciate you checking that video out. I'm going to come out with a cooking one soon on doing some more fishing and cooking some spicy soup with the fish. So appreciate that shout out, Bob. Hope you're doing well. Hope you won last week with playing Drake Maye over Jalen Hurts. What a call there. And hopefully you're gonna do well on this week. Hopefully you do well this week. So we got the Patriots marching back against the Jets, already crossed midfield to pass the 40-yard line on the 39-yard line. Shotgun formation, 2nd and 3, pitch to Henderson after a gain of 7. And this looks like a loss of about 1, maybe 2 for TreVeyon Henderson here. TreVeyon Henderson with one of the big blow-up games this last week. Hopefully he can continue this momentum here. It's always good to see rookies blowing up, doing well, having a couple breakaway touchdown runs. Ramondre Stevenson is out again, so let's see what TreVeyon Henderson can do with this workload. 3rd and 5. Here we go on the 30. Here we go on the 41, and the pass is complete, but he looks like he's about to be a yard or two short of the first down. So 4th down coming up here for the Patriots. It looks like they're going to go for it. The crowd's chanting for them to go for it. Drake Maye and team are staying on the field. It is 4th and 2 here. We got a shotgun formation coming up. Here we go. There's a man in motion. Dropping back. Drake Maye looking, firing. Open man. And he's got his open man for the first down. So we got... Oh. Says stream is lagging. Trying to fix it. lags. All right, let me know if it lags. Sorry, guys. Um, should be good now. 2nd and 7, 28-yard line, empty backfield. Drake Maye looking, escaping, going for it himself, and he is just shy of the first down. It'll be 3rd and short. 3rd and short here. So Justin Fields scoring a touchdown on his first drive. The Patriots are looking to answer right back right here. We got Josh McDaniels calling the play, 3rd and 3 for Drake Maye. Here we go. Shotgun, drop back, fires, and he's got the first down. Drake Maye looking like one of the best quarterbacks in the league this year, hitting Stefon Diggs for the first down. So Stefon Diggs getting the first down. Pass completed to Stefon Diggs from Drake Maye. Drake Maye 5 for 5 on this drive. Here he goes, handoff up the middle, breaking a tackles. Henderson gaining about 9. Gaining about 9. All right, so we got 2nd and 1 here. And he gets stood up. He gets stood up. All right, here we go. 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1. Is going to be 3rd and 1 when we return. 7-0. Jets leading right here. All right, we got most people thinking TreVeyon Henderson will have more points this game. He's having a very, very good first drive. We had Justin Fields scoring. Justin Fields scoring it himself on the first drive of the game. And we now got Drake Maye and team making a drive here. So this is an exciting first game, first drives. It's an exciting game. Great to see Justin Fields scoring on his first drive. It's always good to see that, especially with how poorly he can be on offense sometimes. Can you believe that the Jets won with like 50 passing yards? They won with like 50 passing yards this last game. That was crazy. That was hilarious. 2 special teams touchdowns helps them win the game against the Browns. And of course, the Browns, their offense is not anything to be scared of, so they could not do anything. All right, let's see what else would be helpful for you guys here. All right, let's see. Where is it? Here. Boom. Rushing defenses. I think one thing to call out here is the Chargers, in terms of rushing defenses, is so confusing to me. So confusing to me. They have some games where they just give up so much, but then others where they give up nothing. Their yards per carry is crazy. So, who they're playing, the Jags, right? ETN, I don't know what to think. I do not know what to think. And then you compare it, their passing defense, right? And it's it's strong. Good passing defense in terms of touchdowns. So I don't know. I do not know what to think of their defense. I don't know what to think of the Chargers defense. All right, here we go. On the 10-yard line, 3rd and 1. Henderson gets the first down. Henderson gets the first down. All right. Oh my goodness. All right, so we got 1st and goal here. And a pitch back. And he's cutting. He might get there. He's going to get there. And he got there. Touchdown. TreVeyon Henderson. Let's go. Let's go. TreVeyon Henderson. Let's go. You cannot stop him. The genie has been let out of the bottle. TreVeyon Henderson for the touchdown. Let's go. All right. Hopefully that helped We Buy Homes. He got a touchdown in the 1st quarter playing TreVeyon Henderson. Everybody wishes they had decisions like this. TreVeyon Henderson versus Kyron Williams, Standard League. So there you go, my man. Touchdown for TreVeyon Henderson. Oh, man, they should just keep Ramondre Stevenson hurt. They should just keep Ramondre Stevenson hurt. There he goes. Touchdown. Touchdown, TreVeyon Henderson. Good job. Good job. One more time. Let's shout him out. TreVeyon Henderson with the touchdown. Great job. Great job. All right. Who else should we do some analysis on? Let's look at what is going to be the featured game of the week. Oh, I would say it's probably going to be the Bills versus the Bucks, right? That's probably going to be a big one. The Bills versus the Bucks. It is at Buffalo. This time of year, we actually need to look at weather. And there's possible wind. There is possible wind. Okay. Possible high wind. Okay. So if we look at these teams and we look at their defenses, let's see. Rushing defenses. Here we go. Rushing defenses. We got the Bucks, one of the worst for matchup, 900 yards, 9 touchdowns. So a little less than 100 yards a game for the Bucks and about a touchdown a game. In terms of the Bills, the Bills, how can you run against the Bills? Why can't I find them? The Bills right here, 14 touchdowns against them. Be nice if Bucky Irving was back, but it does not look like it. So about 150 yards a game and a touchdown and a half a game for the Bills. Passing wise. All right. The Jets are running the punt back. They get to about the 32-yard line. All right. And for the passing defenses, when it comes to the Bills, they're one of the worst matchups, actually. Only 9 touchdowns allowed, so less than a touchdown passing, about a touchdown passing per game against the Bills. And they allow about 1,700 yards, so only about, less than 200 yards a game, 170 yards a game passing. So it'll be an interesting game against a Bucks passing defense that does allow a little bit more through the air, about 200 yards a game and a touchdown and a half. All right. So here we go. Here we go. We got the Jets taking back over. The Jets taking back over. Here we go. The Jets taking over right now. 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 for the Jets. Taking the snap. Firing. No good. 3rd and 9. It will be 3rd and 9 for the Jets. 3rd and 9 for the Jets. Third and 9 for the Jets. 3rd and 9. Here we go. 32-yard line. Snap, drop back, fires, and it's going to be a little short. It's going to be a little short of the first down, so it'll be a 4th down. And 3 and out. 3 and out. It will be going back to the Patriots. It will be going right back to the Patriots. So, tied 7-7. Jets score on their first drive. Patriots answer. Both of them with touchdowns. And now a 3 and out by the Jets. And all right. Break it up, they said. Let in New England's offense come back on the field. So tied 7-7. Tied 7-7. The Patriots will be taking back over. We got a tie game going on right now. Okay. I think maybe is this the last drive? Drop any last questions. Drop any last questions in chat or comments. you to those who participated. All right. We got TreVeyon Henderson with the runaway touchdown. Let's see. Was they played? No, he was not played. He was not played. All right. TreVeyon Henderson getting the touchdown. And we shall see who will score next. See who can score next. Drop any last minute questions or comments in the chat. If we don't get much, maybe this will be the last drive. We'll see though. If it's an exciting game, we'll stay on. Hopefully it stays exciting. Hopefully it stays exciting. What else? Is there anything else worth highlighting? Let's go to the games coming up this weekend. Don't forget to set your lineups for Commanders and Dolphins. Set early morning game. Make sure to check your lineup for any last minute news before that game. All right, here we go. Here we go. Drake Maye taking over, 18-yard line. Play action, firing, finding his man. Looks like Hunter Henry for a gain of about 15, 20 yards. And just like that, the Patriots are back in motion, moving the football again. So, play action off of TreVeyon Henderson, finding Hunter Henry right away, throwing him a great ball. So here we go, 40-yard line. Here comes the Patriots. 40 yards, nowhere to go up the middle. Gain of maybe one or two. So TreVeyon Henderson with the touchdown. Justin Fields with the rushing touchdown. Jets 3 and out on their last possession, and now the Patriots are moving the ball back down the field. Again, Hunter Henry with a good one. And Drake Maye and team marching down the field again. Hunter Henry has a good completion on this drive. We'll see 2nd and 8. Drake Maye running up again and gets tackled from behind, gain of about 1. So it's going to be a 3rd and semi-long, maybe 3rd and 6, 3rd and 5, somewhere around there. It's about at midfield, 3rd and 7. It's going to be 3rd and 7. So Drake Maye tried to scramble and get it himself, but they got him around the line of scrimmage. So it will be a 3rd and 7 here. 3rd and 7. 44-yard line. Shotgun formation. Taking the snap. Looking, firing, hitting his man. And Hunter Henry for the first down. Gain of about 10 for Hunter Henry. So, first down, midfield. Hunter Henry keeping the play alive. They're just past midfield now. New set of downs. First down. Veteran tight end coming down with the catch to keep the drive going. 45-yard line. Man in motion. Pitch backwards. Nowhere to go. Loss of maybe 1. So 2nd down. Loss of about 1 on that first down. So 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. Here it goes. Maye looking, firing. Found his man. There you go. Mack Hollins. 1st and 10. First down, hitting Mack Hollins. So Mack Hollins with the catch. All right, here we go. Maye 8 for 8 so far. 27-yard line. Man, this kid is on fire. 1st and 10. Firing. Finding his man, Mack Hollins again. Flag is thrown though. Defensive holding. So here they go. Discussing the flag. Both plays by the defense. The flag is declined. Mack Hollins is going to stand with the catch. So there we go. So 1st down, Mack Hollins. From the 7, 1st and goal. Man in motion. Handoff again. And Henderson with his 2nd touchdown. What is going on? Oh my God. Holy smokes. TreVeyon Henderson with the touchdown. Let's go. 2 touchdowns. TreVeyon Henderson. Let's go. Wow. That is crazy. Wow. All right. Whoever played TreVeyon Henderson has to be happy. TreVeyon Henderson with 2 touchdowns again. TreVeyon Henderson with 2 touchdowns. Let's go. Much love. That's crazy. TreVeyon Henderson with the touchdowns. With the touchdowns is TreVeyon Henderson. All right. TreVeyon Henderson with 2 touchdowns. I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. TreVeyon Henderson. 2 touchdowns. Wow, TreVeyon Henderson already has 15.6 half PPR points. Congratulations, TreVeyon. Here's your breakout. They better not try to put Ramondre back on the field with you after this. Holy smokes. All right. Great work, TreVeyon. Great work, TreVeyon. TreVeyon Henderson with the touchdown. All right. Let's update the scores. Patriots leading 7-14. I can't believe it. All right, here we go. Kickoff is going. Trying to run it back. The Jets get to about the 37-yard line. All right, let's see if the Jets can score back here. See if the Jets can score back. Because that was an exciting drive, and if it's exciting, we'll watch one more drive. So 7-14. Let's see if the Jets can respond or not. Here we go. 1st and 10. Fields handoff to Breece. Run up the middle, gain of about maybe 4. Breece Hall. Breece Hall, gain of about 4. So the Jets, they're basically saying how they have 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks this year and 3 first-round picks in 2027. So they are rebuilding, the Jets. They are 2nd and 5. Here it goes. 2nd and 5. Shotgun snap. Fires. Completion. Short of the first down. It's going to be 3rd and about 3. Maybe 3rd and 4. Justin Fields is taking the underneaths right now. Got to see if he could convert this 3rd and 4. If I were the Patriots, just force him to throw over the top. We know Fields will probably want to get this with his own legs running if he can. So here you go, dropping back, looking, firing. He's going for it. And it's no good. It was a good attempt. I think that was actually a really good throw. Well covered by Christian Gonzalez. He was beat. It looks like the ball was actually dropped in a really good spot, just off the hands of the receiver. So he should have, that was on the receiver. That was Garrett Wilson, he would have caught it. Darn. So nothing there for you, Jets. Nothing there for you. So the Jets get one first down, and the Patriots are back. They are. So we got the Patriots taking the field again. Patriots gonna take the field again. They are up 14-7. Hope everybody won week 10. Much love to you and your teams. Wishing you the best for week 11. Don't forget there is a game in Madrid. I think it's Madrid, right? The game in Spain this week. So be sure to set those early lineups out of your flex positions into the regular positions, and be sure to double check any last minute health changes before the game starts. Don't forget an example, Jalen Warren this year was a last minute scratch. So be sure to check that out on Sunday morning, as this is the last international game of the year. It is the last international game. And yes, it is in Madrid, Spain. It is in Madrid, Spain. Okay. The retractable roof. Retractable roof. So don't forget, there is a game there in Europe. What other big games are there? We already talked about the Tampa Buffalo game being a big game. Um, Maybe Bears Vikings might be a good game. Chargers Jaguars will be a big game. Both teams fighting for playoffs. That'll be a big game. Um, Bengals Steelers might be an interesting rematch. Seahawks Rams in the afternoon will be a big one. Chiefs Broncos afternoon will be a big game. Lions Eagles Sunday's night will be a big one. Some good games slated for this week. Some important games slated for this week. All right, we got TreVeyon Henderson catching a pass for like 5 yards. So this might be the last drive of the night. Drop any last thoughts or questions. Much love to those people who did. Looks like it's going to be hard for Breece Hall to beat TreVeyon Henderson for the most points today after this. So we got 2nd and 5 here. We got Drake Maye under center. Dropping back, firing, first down. Mack Hollins. Mack Hollins with the first down. So 1st and 10 for the Patriots. Drake Maye has 11 straight completions in the game. He's 11 for 11. All right, here we go. Taking the snap, handoff, gain of maybe 1. TreVeyon Henderson. So it's going to be 2nd and 10-ish. All right. 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9. Here we go. 2nd and 9. Shotgun formation. Handoff to Henderson. Not much there. Not much there. Gonna be a 3rd down. 3rd down. So TreVeyon Henderson with 38 yards and 2 touchdowns. Here we go. 3rd and 8 for Drake Maye. Shotgun formation. Firing deep. Oh, off the hands of Diggs. But there's a flag. There is a flag. Penalties declined. It was a hold on the offense. Dang, just off the hands of Diggs. But there was a foul on the play. So Justin Fields with 23 yards passing. He has more yards rushing. He has 28 yards rushing. Drake Maye, 11 for 12. That was his first miss of the game. Mack Hollins with 47 yards. Hunter Henry with 35. Stefon Diggs with 16. TreVeyon Henderson with 38 yards rushing. 2 touchdowns. All right. 3:19 left in the half. 3:19 left in the half. Let's see if there's anything exciting going on. Hope everyone has a great week 11. Any last minute questions, comments, stories, things to share? We'll be signing off soon. We'll be signing off soon. Any last minute. All right, let's see. Yeah, Lions Eagles should be a good Sunday night game. Might be. Hopefully, it's not as slow as the Eagles versus Green Bay game. Hopefully, it's a little faster than that. Chiefs Broncos should be a good one. Yeah, Seahawks and Rams should be a good one. Got a friend going to that game. That should be a really good game. Um, Hopefully, Bengals Steelers is another shootout. Bucks Bills, hopefully a good one. Chargers. Man, there's a good amount of good games this week, I would say. I think there's going to be a good amount of good games this week. Oh man, Texans versus Titans. Best defense against the worst offense. That's probably going to be a tough one for the Titans. Oh man. Okay. Here we go. Last drive. Last drive. 3 minutes 19 seconds left in the half. We got the Jets taking over here. Here we go. 1st and 10. 1st and 10. Hand off to Breece Hall. Gain of 4 or 5. It'll be 2nd down and about 5 for the Jets. They just showed a stat that the first drive the Jets scored the touchdown. It was like 14 plays, 8 minutes. Since then, the Patriots have, or the Jets have not gotten many first downs. I think just one. And very little plays, 8 plays or something like that. So here we go, 2nd and 5. Another handoff, Breece Hall. Gain of about 2 or 3. It's going to be about 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2. And it looks like it's about to go to the 2-minute warning. Don't really know if the Jets are going to hurry up before it. 19 seconds left. It's 3rd and 2. Looks like they might try to get one more playoff before the warning. Man in motion. And 2-minute warning. They took it down to the 2-minute warning. It's going to be 3rd and 2 when they get back. 3rd and 2. So let's see what Breece Hall has on this week. 3.1. So 3.1 for Breece Hall. 3.1. All right, that is updated. All right. So that is updated. Breece Hall, 3.1 points. Who's going to be the league winner? Who's going to be the most league winners? We got about 4 more weeks left of the regular season of fantasy football before our fantasy football playoffs. Who will be the league winners this year for fantasy football? Who will be? Jonathan Taylor had a great ending to the last season, and he's picked up right where he's left off this season. Will he end the season just as strong and potentially be a league winner 2 years in a row? Can he do that? It's possible. Very possible. JSN doing work as a receiver. Jamar Chase with Joe Flacco has been great. Joe Burrow might come back. Probably will be just as good. Maybe not as hyper targeted, but still, Joe Burrow's had him as the #1 receiver last year. So JSN, Jamar Chase. Let's see, who else? All right, here we go. Here we go. We got Fields looking and missing. 4th and 2. He threw a pass to hit his guy and cannot hold on. It was a very good play, actually. Could not tell if the pass was just a little high and outside or if the receiver just dropped it, but he just could not adjust enough to it. Shoot. 4th and 2 on a kick. Here we go. 41-yard line is where the Patriots are taking over. Minute 48 left. Minute 48 left in this half. One more drive. One more drive. All right, here we go. Here we go. Patriots. Here we go. They are up 14-7 against the Jets. Taking over on about the 41-yard line. Almost at midfield. Here we go. Handoff. And the play's called dead. The Jets had 12 guys after a dead ball. I don't know how they do that. But they're the Jets. They did it. First and 5. First and 5. Here we go. Diggs in motion. First and 5. Handoff. TreVeyon. Gain of about 1. Short little pickup. So TreVeyon Henderson already has 12 carries for 39 yards and 2 touchdowns. So here it goes. A minute 24 left in the half. Second and 4. Shotgun. Drake Maye scrambling to his right. Throws incomplete. It's going to be 3rd and 4. There is a flag on the field. Here we go. Holding on the offense. Replay down. Yep, that was definitely a hold. 2nd and 14. So Patriots looking. Fires. Complete to Henderson. Gain of maybe 5 or 6. It's going to be 3rd and long. 52 seconds left. 3 timeouts left. Get the up tempo going. 43 seconds left. Third and 6. Pressure sacked. Drake Maye sacked. There's a flag. There is a flag. There's a defensive hold. Illegal contact. Elite instead of a sack, it's an automatic first down. Oh no. There goes the Jets doing what the Jets do. Oh man. Here it goes. 1st and 10. New set of downs. Going for it. Almost intercepted. Almost intercepted. It was going deep. Almost intercepted. Somebody's injured. Injury timeout. 20 seconds left in the half. Injury time out. Injury time out. All right, so we almost are done with the half. Fields and team were able to score on the first drive of the game. A little surprising, but it kept them in this. We got Drake Maye and team trying to score one more time before the half. About 20 seconds, 25 seconds left in the half. And still got a long ways to go. Might be settling for a field goal if they could get that far. But Drake Maye on the last play tried to go for it all on a long bomb. Ball floated in the air a little bit. Almost got intercepted. I think it was a decent looking idea, but the pass was not sharp enough or deep enough. I don't know if there was a draft and it got held up in the air, or if just was thrown a little bit high or something. But Drake Maye, one of the best deep ball throwers in the game right now. I think for his stats, he has the most accurate deep balls. So one of the few inaccurate deep balls that he had on the year. All right. Luckily, the Jets is walking off on his own stickers. Cornerback. All right, here we go. Here we go. 2nd and 10. Maye looking, finding Henderson, gain of 10. Call a timeout. 13 seconds left. 1st and 10. First takeaway through 9 games, fewest in NFL history. 1 takeaway through 9 games, fewest in NFL history. Fewest through. Wow. The Jets have the fewest takeaways this year in NFL history. Okay. All right, let's see what you can do, Drake Maye. Here you go, 40-yard line, 1st and 10. Shotgun. Firing. Finds his man. One more timeout. They're now in field goal range. Timeout. They are. Diggs got the 1st down. So here we go. 9 seconds left. They're on the 30-yard line, 27-yard line. Here it goes. Running play. They're just gonna take the field goal. Looking to make it 17-7 for the half. All right, here we go. Second and 9. 3 seconds left. Here we go. It's a 45-yard attempt. And it's going to be the Jets calling a timeout. So here we go. Here we go. 45-yard field goal attempt. And it's up. And it's no good. No good. No good. So the Jets escape with the 1-score deficit. 14-7 at the half. Hopefully, y'all, I will see you on Sunday. Wishing y'all a great rest of your week. Don't forget to set your lineups before Sunday morning, and I'll see y'all then. Thank you so much. I'll see y'all next time.